The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step in this present moment. The obstacles and challenges we encounter along the way is a part of the path, because it teaches and preparing us for where we're destined to go. The path of healing is not linear, and when you think you're finding your way out of the darkness, you might hit another roadblock that needs your unconditional love and support. But with time, dear one, your wounds will become alchemized into medicine. Medicine in healing yourself. I want to show my scars so that others know that they can heal too. For a bit over a year ago, my intuition called me towards explanting my beloved implants in hope that it will heal the pain that I have chronically been suffering from in my left breast for a year. This journey has led me to deeper dimensions within myself, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. In today's video, I am going to share with all of you how my healing process has been going, what I've been experiencing, if I'm fully healed, and what I did to deepen the process. As I mentioned in my first video about breast implant illness, of how I got from a clear blue sky chronic chest pain in my left breast that was so severe that I thought that I was going to die. And the doctors couldn't find anything wrong with me and wanted to blame it all on that it was psychologically. I want to start to put emphasis on how important it is for us to listen to ourselves. It is so important to listen to our bodies and the signals it is giving us, because it's trying to communicate with us. It's yearning for our attention. When something hurts or we are experiencing different symptoms, it means that something is out of balance. We need to stay strong despite if no one else believes us. If I would have listened to the doctors and ignored what I felt was deeply wrong within my body, I could have developed serious diseases. In the Western world, the doctors want to prescribe medicine to silence their symptoms, but are not going into the root cause of what is causing the symptoms in the first place. When the surgeon was explanting my breast implants, which means that they're taking out the whole capsular intact with the implant, she found a chronic severe inflammation in both of my breasts, but especially in the left one, where I've been experiencing tremendous amount of chest pain. The inflammation had spread into my ribs, and I got informed that it could take up to a year to heal the damage. When I read about women that has been taking their implants out, many of them said that they immediately felt better. This was not my case. And one of the things that I learned along my healing journey is that you cannot compare yours with someone else. It takes years for a disease to manifest, and so it will take time for your body to heal itself. There is no quick fix, and you cannot rush or control or force your healing process. What I did notice directly after the surgery was that my blood circulation was back to normal, and my skin and eyes were looking so beautiful and vibrant. In the beginning, I was very sad because it felt as if I'd been losing a dear part of my body that I truly loved. And I realized how identified I've been with my breasts. My psychologist encouraged me to see it as a loss and to grieve. And when I allowed myself to do that, my heart was breaking. And when my heart broke, I had the opportunity to meet my inner child, Erica, who didn't believe that she was good enough as she was. And in the breaking, my heart was filled with unconditional love and acceptance that I was beautiful just the way I was, with small breasts that I've been hating my entire life. As I mentioned in my first video about breast implant illness, for the last 10 years of my life, I've been building up and holding on very tightly to an identity and a mask to cover my insecurities because I didn't believe that I was good enough as I was. When I found out that I needed to take my breast implants out, I wanted to die. And yes, there was a part of my ego that died in the process. But in the process of dying, a new me was being reborn. And the ironic part was that the only one that I needed to be good enough for was myself. After about 8 weeks after the surgery, I got into a heavy detox 2 weeks where I was experiencing a lot of different symptoms. And it is when the system is so loaded with all the toxins that from the implants that it's trying to detoxify. So the symptoms I had was extreme exhaustion. I was so tired that I could sleep all day. Intensive headache that led to migraine. Pimples all over my chest and my face. I felt dizzy and nauseous and depressed. And it lasted for about 2 weeks, and after that I started to feel better. For the first 9 months after my surgery, I was experiencing a tremendous amount of chest pain in my left breast as prior to the surgery. This took a serious psychological toll on my overall well-being, and dealing with all that uncertainty daily, and I was constantly asking myself questions such as, what if there is something else wrong with me that the doctors haven't found? Or what if I was seriously sick? And why doesn't the pain go away? When people were asking me of how I was feeling, I told them that I was still experiencing a lot of chest pain, and the answer I usually got was, "Oh, really? So when will you get better?" And the answer was that I didn't know, and the doctors didn't know it either. I would lie if I would say that my healing process has been smooth, because it has been very painful and uncertain. I've been going to different doctors and to check out my blood, doing MRI, ultrasound, and mammogram, and luckily they haven't found anything else. Since the pain hasn't gone away entirely, I've been forced to go deeper within myself to find the root cause. I've been studying energy medicine on how childhood trauma can create disease if it's staying unresolved, and how it needs to be healed on energy and spiritual level in order to release. I started to talk to a psychologist to remember my childhood because I've been suppressing most of it, and I know that I still have a lot that needs to be healed and loved. I started to go to a Chinese medicine doctor, Dr. Diamantis, who made a major impact on our first meeting. He inspired me that healing can only happen in the present moment, and how important it is for us to bring our mind, body, and soul back into alignment in order to create balance and harmony. I did realize that my mind was a complete mess, and how I've been trying to control and force my healing process instead of relaxing into the uncertainty and allowing my body to do its own work. He taught me the importance of getting out of my own way so that my body's intelligence can heal itself. Because yes, our bodies know how to heal themselves if we are supporting and taking the crucial steps in order to create a space where they can. The journey towards healing is not a linear process, and we must become an active participant in our own healing and doing our own internal work, mind, body, and soul. I started to reframe I'm in pain, I am broken, I am sick to I am healing for every day and I'm having trust in the process. I choose to believe and to surrender that something greater is taking care of me. I stopped searching for the pain and I started to accept and make peace with it without trying to control it or overthinking and thinking the worst case scenario as soon as it got intensified. To be honest, it has been really hard, but with time I've been learning to relax into the uncertainty and to trust the process. I started to hold and mothering myself like a sweet tender baby in moments of despair. When the pain kicks in, I am soothing, holding, and telling myself that it's all okay. And many times I've been crying, and I've been allowing myself to cry, to feel everything so deeply. I've been apologizing to my body that I took it for granted, and for what I have done to it without even realizing. And I've been thanking my body for all it does for me. And I now hush a deep respect and gratitude for the wonderful temple that I've been gifted with. I've been nourishing my body with a lot of rest, water. I stayed sober for 6 months, and I now sometimes drink once every other month. And I've been following an anti-inflammatory protocol when it comes to what I put into my body, which follows the guidelines of no sugar, no gluten, no eggs, no dairy, no processed food, no alcohol, no red meat or pork. So in other terms, a whole food organic diet with a lot of veggies. And of course, I've been sometimes consuming this occasionally, but the majority of the time, the last 15 months, I've been very mindful and selective of what I choose to put into and on my body. And it hasn't even been hard to eliminate it because I've been so focused on healing. In spiritual contexts, the breast problems represents the denial of the feminine mother principle of nourishing and nurturing oneself and others. I had to look into how I've been nourishing myself over the last years. And to be honest, I still been self-destructive. It was hard to me to admit that even though I saw myself as healthy, such as eating the right foods, going to the gym, and I've been working a lot on myself over the last couple of years, I still been self-destructive. I sometimes been going into heavy party loops and I've been falling into destructive relationships with men who didn't respect me, which ultimately means I didn't respect myself. I've been procrastinating my soul's calling of stepping up and lead in a way that sparks my soul because I haven't believed that I was good enough yet. The left breast is located right over the heart, which has guided me back home to myself even more deeply, and to start the work I know that I need to do in this world, and not later, but now. You see, we cannot heal in the same place where we got sick in, and we must eliminate and let go of everything that contributed to our illness in order to heal. Which means that I had no other opportunity other than facing my darkness, lovingly admit that I still have a lot of work to work on, and to consciously realign my entire life into more soul-led alignment. Healing is a complex process because everything is so intertwined: mind, body, and soul. And I realized that my logical mind couldn't solve it by its own, and that I had to surrender to the whole process in spite of trust. I believe that in order to experience healing and to stay healthy, we must heal all aspects of ourselves. If we look at the word dis-ease, it means that something is causing a disturbance in the natural flow of our body and life. When we are healthy, we are at ease. Our work is to fundamentally find the root cause of what is creating the dis-ease. And this is no quick fix. This is a process that takes great courage, love, and compassion for ourselves. And my heart has been cracking more and more open in this whole process. And so it continues. And it has humbled me so greatly. So am I still in pain? Yes, sometimes I am, but occasionally. But the majority of the time, I am now living more pain-free than with pain, which means that it goes in the right direction, and I am so forever grateful for that. And does it get easier? Yes, it does, with time. So the other symptoms I had was IBS, still have it, but it goes in intervals. Reoccurrent yeast infections, completely gone. Anxiety and depression, gone. Cold hands and feet, occasionally. And chest pain, which I told you guys about, that I sometimes have, but most of the time I am now living pain-free. So do I regret taking my breast implants out? No. It's the best possible decision I could possibly do for my own health. And I remember that in the beginning I felt envy for all of those women who were able to have breast implants, but I couldn't. But I am now so proud of myself that I am one of all the strong women who chose my health over my looks, when I now know how destroying and toxic it is to our bodies. When people ask me if I would ever get new breast implants, it still shocks me. Why would I ever put in it again when it got me so sick in the first place? No, not even over my dead body. And I certainly do not recommend anyone having it either after my experience, like among many others. So this has, without a doubt, been the most challenging 2 years of my life. And it has shaken my whole world upside down. But in this whole process, it has changed my life to the better. It has led me to deeper dimensions within myself that I wouldn't dare to go by myself. And the pain has awakened me to the truth that I no longer can deny. I will forever be an advocate that our bodies and spirits are holy and sacred, and that we must daily choose to take aligned actions that supports our mind, body, and soul in the respect and love towards ourselves. Because in the end, the most important is not how we look, but how we feel. And that true beauty comes from within. So for anyone out there who is going through their healing process, whether it's healing breast implant illness or any other disease or mental pain, I want you to know that you are not alone. I want you to know that it will get better. And I want you to know how important it is to become an active participant in our healing and to do our work and to take responsibility for the well-being of our mind, body, and soul. And sometimes it means to let parts of ourselves die for something greater to emerge. Sometimes it means for us to sit with our pain when we most want to run. And sometimes it means to let go of everything toxic that is standing in our way so that we can heal. Sometimes we must place our trust in something bigger than ourselves and to surrender to faith. And sometimes, dear one, we think we have healed something only to later revisit it on a deeper level. There is so much that needs to be seen, heard, acknowledged, accepted, and loved. And don't you carry all of your burden by yourself. Ask for help and surrender to it. And most of all, give yourself, your body, your mind, and your soul the time and space that you need in order to heal all the trauma that you've been going through. This is not an easy road, but it is all possible and worth it. Because on the other side of our mystery, we are awakening to life's mystery. And we are being blessed with another chance to live more fully.